Guys, welcome to Loud, an alternative music podcast. Happy late Halloween, everyone. This is episode 5, and I'm your host, Tomye West. Beside me is my co-host, Cody O'Connor.
Yo.
As I asked you, man, how are you? How you been?
Yeah, I've been good, man. It's been good to be able to get out and do things. It's been good to be able to go back to work and things like that. Sort of return to a bit, I guess. So it's been cool. Things are slowly getting better. It was boring, to be honest. I've missed doing it. Yeah, I still kept busy doing some other things, but yeah, it's good. It's good to be back and to be able to make some new episodes and things. Definitely.
Yeah, well, we're always hoping that everyone's enjoying the show. We took some time off, and yeah, we've just been kind of
plotting along, organising some things.
Yeah, reorganising what we're thinking to do with the show. We got some cool stuff to announce with that coming up shortly. But anyways, I've been good too, man. Just been collecting a lot of Pokemon cards.
Really?
Yeah, man. You too. We may as well not pretend. We've both got a problem.
How's it gone for you?
We need to go to Pokemon AA meeting because we got problems. We can't help ourselves.
To not try and invest, I guess. And
it's expensive, but it's not at the same time. You're like, oh, it's only $100, and then before you know it, you're like, oh, I just spent $300.
So we set up a business on eBay, collecting and trading cards and stuff like that, buying some booster boxes and trying to get some celebration stuff. That's what Tom and I have been doing lately, it's been cool. It's been fun hunting around for stuff. It is a little bit expensive, to be honest, but it is what it is, merchandise.
And by the way, that's a normal size Pokemon card. I'm a mini dude.
So yeah, that's been fun. It's been good to do that on the, I don't know, what downtime we've had, I guess.
Yeah, it's been downtime been more busy, man. The downtime has been more busy than the actual
interesting setting up. Usually, I don't know how my life is nowadays, to be honest, but it's not bad.
True. But anyways, we've been away for a while and we had a lot of news to talk about, but the weeks went by and the news no longer was news. It was kind of outdated. So we've put some news stories together. It's not going to be a very long episode. We haven't got an interview to do today. We just thought, get back in the rhythm of things. We do a return episode and kind of just
we did do an interview with Lol Chand, which was awesome, but sorry if you're watching this, bro, we couldn't get it out. We had to take a break basically soon after we recorded that episode, and we got along really well, which was awesome. So if you do want to come back on in a future episode, definitely let us know, because we'd be happy to chat again. But yeah, the stuff we were talking about just got outdated. I hope your EP release went well and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, Jordan, everyone go check out Lol Chand. Jordan is a really good dude.
Yeah.
And his new EP just came out probably about 4 weeks ago, and it's really good. And everyone go check him out, because as Cody said, we had him on as a guest. Then we had to take a break, and it kind of got outdated. And his EP's out now, and he's already done other podcasts and things like that. So we wish him all the best, though, and we hope we can get him back on for another interview and kind of make it relevant again. And apologies for not getting it out. But and how you feeling about the band stuff, man? Good?
Our band that we're doing?
Yep.
Yeah, it's been cool. It was good going to do some vocals with Ash last week. I guess we're pretty well almost rounding out the EP, which is sweet. It's good to be able to do stuff that we talk with other people about and stuff like that, to sort of get context
By
again,
the way,
I
did I say
guess.
it was episode 6 or episode 5? Sorry, man. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought then. Wait, did I say the wrong thing? Doesn't matter. It's episode fucking 5.
I swear we do that like
Every episode, yeah, we do.
episode. Like how the hell are our audience? It doesn't really matter. To be completely honest, like I really haven't ever worried about the episode number because at the end of the day, it doesn't like the only thing it reflects, I guess, is just the amount of time we've been on and sort of the experience that we've gotten. So if new people would have come and watched, they wouldn't go to like episode 2 or whatever. But the main thing for me is just highlighting the artists that we usually get on the episode. It's like loud with this person or loud with this person.
Well, we have done one show by ourselves before, which was our top 10 albums of all time. And
which I think went pretty well. That was our most watched video for a while.
Yeah, and people seem to really like it as well, man. People seem to really dig it. I mean, of course, our top 5 isn't going to be everyone. I mean, our top 10 isn't going to be everyone's top 10. And of course, our top 10 might not always be factually the top 10 bands, but this is a personal list. If you haven't checked that video out, go check it out if you can. 1 second.
Get to know us a bit better, I guess.
This is doing my fucking head in. I got to fix this up. I just had to get it out of the frame, bro. It fucking killed me. All right, so we'll get into the news stories for today. Well, this week, this month. Starting with number 1, Limp Bizkit. Yes, you did. But it's okay. Anyways. Story number 1.
Not bad.
Let's get what?
I didn't say anything. The audio stripping.
This fucking delay is fucking retarded. Anyways, we'll fix that up.
Limp Bizkit, as you said.
For the week.
Yeah, they released a new
album.
album.
Just released a brand new album.
Yeah.
Called Still Sucks. It came out October 31st, Halloween. If you didn't know, they released their first single off it called Dad Vibes, which was a couple of months ago. And then I was waiting to hear about when the album was going to drop. And it kind of just dropped randomly with 2 days' notice, which was kind of good because I wasn't like sitting there anticipating it like when I find out other dates for things. And that kind of shit pisses me off. So I didn't have to wait long for it. And yeah, I thought we'd spend a little bit of time just talking about it because it's been 10 years since Golden Cobra was released. Is it Golden Cobra or Gold Cobra? I think it's Golden. Anyways, I didn't really like that album. I thought it was a bit of a letdown. I love all their previous work to that. I mean, it does have Shotgun on it. It does have some other song I like on it, and that's about it. But so it was good to get a new album from them after 10 years, especially because I've been listening to them a lot lately, like re-listening to Hot Dog Flavored Water and whatever. So yeah.
Well, what number was that on your all-time list again? On your top 10?
Number 10 or 9?
It definitely made it.
Yeah, definitely. And because I've been listening to them a lot lately too, I'd say it might have even gone higher now on my list because my list changes all the time, man. But it's pretty much the same album.
Balance, nearly fell over. Shit.
But yeah, it's good, man. The album's cool because it's titled "Still Sucks," which kind of shows that they're very aware of what the public perception is of them and people not liking them and them being the butt of the joke for everyone.
Yeah, it's definitely an ironic title, that's for sure.
And that's really cool, man. And there's another couple of songs on it which have like funny names. Like there's Dirty Rotten Biscuit.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of cool like songs too where he's like fully I think it's called Turn It Up Bitch, which has like a rap vibe to it, and it's all about how Limp Bizkit aren't good, or people make fun of them or whatever like that, and kind of like it's good, man. It just makes it more fun listening to them because they're not so aggressive, but it's still the same Limp Bizkit flavor. Even though I love their aggressive shit, it's just cool to see a different side of them where they're kind of like, we get it, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
And I don't know, man. You've listened to a bit of it, haven't you?
Yeah, I've given the few tracks a listen. I think it was cool. You mentioned before that they only gave it like 2 days notice or so. I think they generated enough noise with the whole set at Lollapalooza and stuff like that to sort of like they'd kind of teased that a new album was going to be coming out, especially with Dad Vibes as well. So I think they did it tactically kind of well to just drop it. I guess in a way, it still would have caught everyone off guard, and like being so hyped from that performance and the single they put out and stuff like that. Everyone that was really keen for it would have rushed out and just listened to it straight away. So they did well in that respect. Like, just like the way that they marketed themselves and stuff like that. It's cool. It's a cool album. There's heaps of old influences you can still hear, obviously, because I would assume that Wes would have written almost all the guitars on it. So it's cool that they've still held up their sound as much as they have. Like Fred's 51 now, I think.
Yeah, I looked that up today too, man. I was shocked. I was like, oh, he's got to be late 40s. And I looked up, I'm like, oh, he's older than I thought.
And I definitely wasn't super into them when I was younger. I've got friends younger than me that were really into them when they were younger. For whatever reason, they just like weren't on my radar. But they're a good band, dude. Like
they are.
And because of that, you and I could listen to stuff that they put out 20 odd years ago, and it still sounds.
That's what I was looking up then. Was that Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water was released. It's been over 20 years. It says over. Which is a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like they've released this album and it almost is like they never went away because the album kind of flows just like the others did. As I was going to talk about, that I think the first 4 tracks really showcase some Limp Bizkit flavors from the old days and kind of like sits next to like Hot Dog Flavored Water and Significant Other. But
I guess in a way that's like how you know that a band is good as well. Like there's been multiple bands that have taken like indefinite hiatuses and stuff like that, and they get together 5-6 years later and write something that's as good as, if not better than, the stuff they did earlier on in their careers.
Yeah, well, I mean, the song I'd recommend to everybody to go check out if you haven't listened to it or if you haven't heard their new song Dad Vibes, even if you haven't heard Dad Vibes and you haven't heard anything else from them. From their new stuff, I really suggest you go listen to the opening track of it. It's on YouTube and I'm guessing Spotify and all those places. It's a song called Out of Style, and I honestly think that it's one of my favorite songs ever from them, probably. I just think it's like got a really cool riff. The riff is so heavy, and I love that. So, yeah, no, I'm really happy with the release so far, man. It's getting mixed reviews at the moment, apparently. More leaning in the favor of positive, but there's still some negative reviews out there. And it is my other critique of it would be that it's really short. It's a bit over 30 minutes.
Yeah, fair enough. That is pretty short for a full-length album for sure.
It's really short, man.
Maybe not so for like a full-on proper like hardcore punk band, but I don't know. That said, I don't know, like they have a lot of rap influences and stuff like that, and rap artists put out mixtapes and stuff all the time. So I don't know. Maybe they wanted to do something like that. Just
Yeah, well, I read some reviews today where they're like, we waited 10 years or something for a 30-minute album, and someone said it took them 10 years and it feels like it was put together over the weekend.
That's a fair point.
But I honestly think there's more to it than that, which is I remember following them about a year ago, reading up about how their album recording was going, like, and they said that that they restarted the album completely. Like they finished it, restarted it, scrapped songs completely. So I mean, I think it's probably been a little bit of hesitation from them because they're not sure how to come out and not be a joke. And I think that they found a way to make it work for them, even though I don't think they're a joke. It's just the perception of them. I think that them owning that and then coming out with the song Dad Vibes and Fred Durst having that swagger that he's dressing up in on live shows at the moment and stuff really works for the band.
For sure. That's a really valid point. Like, I don't know, I guess you could almost assume, or it'd be at least fair to say that maybe a lot of earlier stuff that they wrote, they maybe thought they were trying to try too hard or something like that, and maybe they chose to take a different creative direction because they didn't want to be one of as like even more than they already were to whatever extent. So you're right when encompass, but I don't know. They had a huge long career. Like I'm sure they've taken their brunt of shit. I don't like at the end of the day, it's fucking Limp Bizkit, man. They're gonna do whatever they want to do, and if you say you don't like it, well, they don't give a fuck anyway, you know. So
yeah, well, the headline from over at NME, go read the review if you haven't gone and check it out. Says the Frat Boy Rockers return with after a decade. Oh, that's weird. The way it's written. The Frat Boy Rockers return with after a decade. See, that weird isn't supposed to be there.
Journalism nowadays is a lot worse than it used to be, dude.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm going to rewrite for the person who wrote this. His name is Ali Shuttler over at NME. The Frat Boy Rockers return after a decade with a lean and self-aware party status of a 6th album. That's a shit headline, but you get the idea.
Just needs grammatical restructuring in the worst way. That's fine.
Yeah, it's terrible. I always felt like, I don't know.
Anyway,
my son wrote that.
Extrapolate further, my dude.
I don't know. I'm just looking forward to seeing him play more songs live than Dad Vibes.
Yeah,
I really
for sure.
like to see it Out of Style, which is, as NME puts it, a made for the mosh pit song. So
that was the other thought in the back of my head. Like maybe, well, you said they took. Well, it did like the comments were, "Oh, we waited 10 years for this album." It wasn't like they were working on it for 10 years.
Yeah, I don't think so, man. And look,
of course not.
If they're working on it constantly, like they tour, like a normal band schedule is like, let's say, I don't know, any band, it's like a 2-year gap between albums at least.
Yeah.
So you record the album, you release it, you tour, you go away for a while, you release a new album, you tour, and it's a constant cycle every 2 years. So if you think about it, even bands that are always at it are writing albums, and it still takes them a long time to get that album done. So if you're not doing it full time, you're not making it a priority, and you also got a lot of money and don't feel the need to do it. That's probably a lot of reasons why it took so long, you know?
Yeah, which is fine. My main point would be like they haven't toured for 10 years, so it would be cool for them to be able to put out a new album, to be able to get together as the same band they did however long ago, and basically effectively give it one last shot type thing. And if they get a bit more traction and are able to put out another CD after this, well, that's awesome for them.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just hope that they do play a couple of good songs off the album, and don't just play Dad Vibes and then play like a greatest hits set like they would usually, because it's almost like a lot of bands do that, where they'll put out a new album. Let's just point, I'm not going to say this is just an example. Metallica will put out new albums, and then they'll go play shows, and they'll play the song that they released as a single off it, the one song, and then they'll just play, Memory Remains and Master of Puppets and shit, So I'm just using it as an example. So it'd be good.
It's hard. It's hard to generate a set list to appease. I don't know. Metallica was a good example in comparison to Limp Bizkit, because like when you have a catalog of so many songs, it's hard to put together like if you're headlining an hour and a half set list that's going to encompass like every awesome part of your entire discography. And the cool part about having so many fans is that every fan of your band's going to have a different view on what the best song is and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it would be super hard for me to, like, if I was in that position, to sit down, and because I'd have to weigh up which songs I want to do personally as well, Yeah,
well, I mean, Eminem. I went and saw Eminem when he last came out for the Rapture tour with Royce da 5'9" and Hilltop Hoods, and when I saw him play there, he did a 3-hour set or more, and it was about 3 hours, and he's got that many big songs, and it was kind of disappointing because he just played a medley basically the whole time. So it was like a minute and a half of every song, and then it would get to like one, like Lose Yourself, and he'll play the whole thing of Lose Yourself, but then Kill You, the Real Slim Shady, and all these songs will just go in a medley, and it's kind of disappointing when you go. I went to go to Eminem, and I was like, I can't wait to hear the song "Kill You." I hope he plays it, and he played it, and he played the first intro, the verse, chorus, and that was it. And I was like, oh, that's disappointing.
I get that. It's almost like please don't give me like just a snippet of it. Like I like this song for the whole song. If you're not going to play the whole thing, then just play something else. I get that.
I do totally get why he does it, but it's also like
me too, for sure.
Slipknot don't play a medley of their greatest hits, yet they play full songs every time they play full songs. You know, so
definitely. The most they'll do is find a way to like string Before I Forget in with Psychosocial really awesomely or some shit, but they won't like cut both songs in half and try and intertwine them or whatever.
Yeah, see, for a while there, the Used were getting, I think, a bit sick of playing their original songs, and they put Buried Myself Alive, Taste of Ink, and All That I've Got all in a medley. But they pretty much play majority of the songs and just join them onto each other. So
yeah.
But yeah, it goes quicker. That's all, because they don't have to introduce every song and whatever. But
those four in particular have a pretty crazy vocal range, so it would have been kind of hard to do in the space of 3 minutes. Because they're pretty different.
Yeah, no, they all are different, but I think they just keep the song. I don't know. Is Buried Myself Alive and Taste of Ink, if you think about the chorus from Taste of Ink and Buried Myself Alive's intro riff, are they the same tuning?
Likely. I wouldn't be surprised if they played most, if not all their songs in drop D. I think that's what they played in. Yeah,
because I think they just lower the keys and stuff in the vocals to suit that song, the previous song to it. But anyways, if you guys haven't gone and heard Limp Bizkit's new album, it's called Still Sucks. And Cody, do you know what it's originally going to be called?
No, of course not.
It was going to be called Stampede of the Disco Elephants.
I almost feel like that would have been a more Limp Bizkit album, but I get the new name for sure.
I think that they were going to call it that until they were like, I don't know, we're kind of being the joke band. Maybe we should
which I guess might kind of go back to the point you and I were making before when they decided to reamp things and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, anyways, everyone go check it out. It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify. It's pretty much free, so go listen.
It's interesting. I had no idea about that album title. I guess everything has a working title, though.
Yeah, well, we've gone through a few different choices.
Everyone has ridiculous working titles, but to be able to go to the label and be like, this is what we want to call it.
Well, for the people watching, me and Cody were working on a song the other day for our band, and working title on it was Toads, because it's Tom and Codes. So that's the kind of stuff that we're talking about. Anyways, yeah, go check it out. Now we'll move on to story number 2.
Yeah, what else you
got? Story number 2 is HBO sets release dates for new Music Box documentaries on DMX, Juice WRLD, Alanis Morissette, and more. This is by Matt Doria over at NME, which says HBO has set release dates for the 5 remaining installments of its Music Box documentary series, all of which are set to stream exclusively on HBO Max throughout November and December. The series kicked off back in July with Woodstock 99, Peace, Love and Rage, a 110-minute film exploring the turbulent story behind the titular festival, which I talked about on this show with when we had Ben on, and that's a really good documentary, even though it's a bit lopsided and kind of blames the problems of the festival on the attendees, and the bands as well, or kind of music, and you can't blame the band for crappy management of the festival. So it's kind of a bit one-sided, but it does have a lot of cool history and aspects to it. So watch that if you haven't. And they said the next installment, Jagged, is set to focus on Alanis Morissette's 1995 debut, Jagged Little Pill, and will begin streaming on November 18th. That film will be followed by a documentary spotlighting the late DMX called DMX Don't Try to Understand, and jazz legend Kenny G, Listening to Kenny G, with their installments dated for November 25th and December 2nd, respectively.
Yeah,
So
cool.
that's kind of cool because I like music what do you call them?
Documentaries and stuff like that.
Biopics.
Biopics.
Yeah. So
Right.
I don't know, I like that sort of stuff. Like one of my favorite movies from the recent, I don't know, 6 years or so is Straight Outta Compton. Such a great movie. The Dirt from Motley Crue is really good. I mean, there's a heap of them, but yeah, it's always good to get artists, especially that you're into, like DMX, who I really like, to finally get a documentary that is a bit sort of TV orientated and produced for the mainstream. So it's kind of cool to see what their take's going to be on it and stuff. I just hope that they don't go too far into DMX's sort of what would you say, like more gangster side, I guess. I mean, he's just he was a rough dude. So
yeah, fair, right.
I hope they just do it fairly. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I love watching documentaries and stuff as well. I usually, if I want to do like or watch music stuff, I'll either watch like a documentary on musicians' life or like a live concert or something like that. I actually didn't know about this series, so it's cool you mentioned it to me. I remember.
Well, I don't think many people will know about it because this was actually uploaded, I think, maybe less than 3 hours ago.
I also thought it was kind of interesting that they mentioned that they were going to do an episode on the late DMZ, is it?
DMX. DMZ.
DMX, yeah, there you go.
Zone, North Korea.
You can tell him much I listen to it, right?
The DMZ. Sorry, man, that's fucking awesome because there is in North Korea, the part that separates North Korea and South Korea is called the DMZ zone, the demilitarized zone. So that's hilarious, dude.
Maybe they named it after him because he was the maddest cunt that ever went there and tried to cross it.
Well, look, man, you don't want to mess with DMZ. You don't want to mess with DMZ.
Or DMX for that matter. I was just going to mention it's cool they're doing episodes on people that have passed away. I like just thinking it'd be interesting to maybe see an episode on Amy Winehouse or like Kurt Cobain or someone like that.
I think there hasn't been a lot on Amy Winehouse as far as I know, but there have been a shit ton on Kurt Cobain and Nirvana, and I kind of don't think that needs to really be done anymore. It's kind of like
to an extent. I think a lot of the sorry man, sorry to cut you off. I think a lot of the stuff they've done on Nirvana is always about the conspiracy behind his death and stuff like that, like whether Courtney Love actually killed him or whatever. That's usually the aim of it. I would just like to learn about how he was as a kid growing up and how Nirvana started and who they talked to get their first record deal and stuff like that. I don't think like they are a massive mainstream thing, so there probably have been like I know I've read a book on it, but I don't know when companies do
documentary and stuff.
When companies on, like Netflix and HBO and stuff, when they are doing their own series, if they do it well for a couple episodes, then you kind of want to watch more on the other people they cover because you know it's of a certain quality.
Yeah, well, my point is that I just looked it up. Google. There's there's a documentary called Kurt Cobain, Montage of Heck, which I remember.
Yeah.
And
I also remember that.
It says filmmaker Brett Morgan uses material from the Cobain's personal archives in an in-depth examination of the Nirvana frontman's childhood music career and untimely death. So I'm not saying that it's been overdone, but I'm just saying there's a lot out there on those artists where I don't think there is enough out on artists like DMX.
Yeah, and like if maybe if they were to do it on Nirvana, because there's so much stuff out there, it might be a redundant episode for them, so it's not worth funding. That absolutely makes sense.
And also, like, it's kind of like when someone tries to make a documentary now on Tupac, and it's like, enough of the Tupac documentaries. I love Tupac, and one of my favorite documentaries ever was Murder Rap, the murder of Biggie Smalls and Tupac, and it's a great documentary. It's a great series on Netflix. If you haven't gone and watched it, it's called Unsolved. Go check that out. But yeah, it's kind of like there's nothing more to learn about that artist. We know literally
every angle sort of been taken, yeah.
And especially with Tupac and Kurt Cobain, where they've done things on their deaths and stuff, even their deaths have been heavily analyzed. You know, like not only their life, but their death as well.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say, like, because they were so popular and so big that, unfortunately, because how humanity is, there would have been a lot of people that would have tried to cash in on those untimely events. So,
yeah, well, and I don't know if you knew this, Cody, but DMX did pass away this year.
Right.
From issues with COVID and stuff like that.
I heard it earlier on in the year, actually. I remember, like, I wasn't that into him as an artist, but I do remember a lot of his fans and stuff mourning his death. Yeah.
And I thought it was a sad thing because I really like DMX.
Well, it'd be like if Dre died for you, man.
Yeah, well, he did have a brain aneurysm last December.
Yeah.
But we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute, about Dr. Dre, because he's one of our news stories. But I think that my point with that is that he had such a scare with his health that I think it kind of whipped him into, I got to make the most of my life. I got to make more music, because he made Compton in 2015 and said that was his grand finale.
Yeah.
And I think he was very comfortable and leaving it like that. And I think that death scare did give him the sort of, like, you know, momentum to go, oh shit, I've got to get another album out, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and as scary as stuff like that is, like, you usually, or if not always, hear about people coming out the other side being like, you know, I feel invigorated, have like a newfound sort of vision on what I think I should do, you know, like my time isn't up type thing. So it's cool. It's good to still putting out music, I guess.
Yeah, well, DMX did die on April 9th, 2021.
Shit, dude, that's the day before my birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, man. All right. So we'll move on to story number 3. And that is over from Junkie by Joseph Earp.
One quick thing, bro. You can only hope that he's up in heaven, just jamming out to freaking Up in Here with all his homies. Yeah.
Party up, yeah. Yeah, no, he's got some good banger songs. He's got some good club songs. Anyway.
I remember that song from Like Mike. Anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah, story number 3 is Mark Hoppus has given a deeply wholesome Blink-182 performance with his first performance after beating cancer. And this is from junkie.com, and it's written by Joseph Earp. So I'll read a little bit of the article. Mark Hoppus, the bassist and co-lead vocalist of Blink-182, recently announced that he was cancer-free. The news, which caused a global sigh of relief from fans, came months after Hoppus had first announced that he was battling stage 4 disease, diffuse large B-cell lymphoma. Okay, so Hoppus had kept his fans across his cancer journey, regularly tweeting updates about his condition and his slow, hard-won fight for good health. So, he performed at Travis Barker's Halloween House of Horrors, I think. He dressed as Batman, and he was slapping the bass, apparently. That's what it says in the article. I didn't write it.
That's what he does. That's what he does.
He does slap that bass. What songs did they play? They played What's My Age Again. I don't think I played anything else, but it just says What's My Age Again. So the main story of this is that Mark Hoppus is beating cancer, which is great, because when I first heard that, I was like, man, that'd be a sad thing for Mark Hoppus to die. Not that I listen to a lot of Blink. I do like him, but
he's such a good dude, man. He's such a good guy.
Yeah, he is. You can tell he is a good dude, you know. And we used to watch the Blink-182 DVDs a lot and things when I was younger, and him and Tom and Travis just look like they're having so much fun all the time. They always are joking around. They're always being silly, and that kind of makes you feel like you know that person in that band more when they have a
personality that you can relate to.
Yeah, one that you kind of vibe with. So when I heard that he was unwell with it, I was really, I was kind of shocked and
You kind of feel
hoping
like it's a member of your family. Like,
yeah, I was kind of hoping that he, I was obviously really hoping that he pulled through, and he did. And yeah, he came back and played with Travis Barker and someone else for a Halloween show. So yeah, if you haven't gone and if you haven't gone and checked that out, it's on YouTube. So
Sawn
just
it
type in
off,
Mark
bro.
Hoppus. I'm sure it'll come up very quickly.
I almost feel like it wouldn't, like, they wouldn't have marketed it as a show or anything. It literally would have been a super personal thing for him, just to, like, a commemoration of getting over it, essentially.
Well, it
And
says the annual event. The
it's
annual event
almost
designed to tie into the spookiest day of the year saw Hoppus dressed as Batman. So obviously, it's something that Travis Barker does every year on Halloween. Has like a House of Horrors party or something, I guess.
it's also really funny. I think, yeah, it's a bit conspirative, whatever. But so the only song they mentioned that they played was "What's My Age Again." Yeah. So you could almost interpret that as like them coming to terms with the fact that they're getting older and starting to deal with real life sicknesses and stuff like that. It's just
Yeah,
it
no, he probably did
makes too
play it
much
for.
sense.
He did probably play it for that reason. I'm guessing
I like
that's why he
I,
would pick that song.
he probably thinks about it, and yeah, because obviously the stuff I've written has never met that success ever, obviously. But you do, when you write music, write stuff for yourself. So if I don't know if he was the one who wrote it initially, but if he was, it'd be something that he sort of keeps to himself, like, sort of be like a personal reminder type thing. I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. It's really cool. But yeah, go check that out. And we're happy that Mark Hoppus is all better. Story number 4. The Last Martyr, our good friends, had their new EP being released on the 10th of December. It's called Purgatory. You can pre-order it now on all platforms. You can pre-order on Bandcamp, and you get access to a special digital merch package, as well as 2 songs straight away if you pre-order.
Are you looking at it at the moment?
Yes, I am.
How much are pre-orders for the CD?
The pre-orders are. I'm clicking it. It is agreed. Whatever. It is complete. It is $12, man.
Is that it? To pre-order an entire album?
Yep.
Leave
it's only
that
5
page.
songs.
Leave that page up. When we get off this, I'll send you my card details and we can pre-order the album, man.
Yeah, cool. It says, we'll read a little bit of the information about it. The artwork is based on the concept of personal purgatory. And I'm sure that speaks to someone in the band. I'm guessing, Monica, probably, but yeah, it's really cool that they've got their EP coming out. Everyone go pre-order that, because you can go watch our episode with Ben. He's a really good dude. And
first episode we ever did. He was on.
It was the first episode of our show, and it's really cool that they have a new EP coming out. And yeah, everyone should really go check it out, because they're on some good shows next year. They're on what are they on?
That's what I was about to mention, man. Yeah, they're playing Unify, I believe. That's freaking awesome,
man. That's huge.
Yep.
I think there's more. I think they're playing more cool shows coming up too. I think they got the support slot for someone really big too.
It's so good that shows are happening again. It's so good.
Well, things are moving quicker with us now, eh?
Yeah, for sure.
Which is really good. I'm just going to quickly see who the Last Martyr opening with. Okay, so we've got.
I guess I'm keen to see, for who listens in Australia, who's more keen for the New Year's festival or for Unify, if you've booked tickets or anything like that. Which lineup you're more stoked for, what bands you want to go see and stuff like that. I'll probably be. I don't actually know what I'm doing for New Year's. I don't think I can justify a trip out there. But I might go to Unify if I can. Anyway.
Yeah, well, I just looked it up. On the 12th of February, the Last Martyr are also playing Uncaged Festival in Sydney. at the Sydney Showground.
I do remember seeing the poster for that. That's a new festival, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm looking up now who's on the lineup. That's right. So it's the Getaway Plan.
Which one? Sorry, I didn't hear that properly.
It's called Uncaged Festival.
Yeah. What band?
The Getaway Plan.
Getaway Plan. There you go. Cool.
So Wolf Mother, Magic Dirt, Kingswood, 12-Foot Ninja, Body Jar, the Super Jesus, the Getaway Plan, the Meanies, Tumbleweed, the Hard-Ons, and End of Fashion, plus more.
I love End of Fashion, man. I know one or two of their songs.
I just realised that there is a Melbourne one of that as well.
Play the Game, I think it is, by End of Fashion. It's a sick song.
Yeah, cool. Oh, yeah, no, well, good luck to the Last Martyr on their shows coming up and also on their EP release, and we look forward to it, and we hope everyone out there is looking forward to it too. And we got 2 more stories left, bro.
Also, quick, Patient 67 put out a new song the other day as well, Wayfarer, whilst we're plugging the people that we've already chatted to and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right. Story number 4.5. Go check out Patient 67's new release because it's really cool. And we had Tom on as a guest, and he's a really good dude. And
yeah, I hope they can get over this end of the country, neck of the woods, etc. soon. Because I'd like to meet them in person, maybe play a show or something like that.
Yeah, it would be cool. It would be cool.
And I'm not even trying to promote myself. Tom's just a nice guy. I'd like to meet him.
Yeah, and I think you talked about that too, where you suggested that they should do a. Oh no, that was to someone else. No, I don't know. You probably did suggest it to him, anyways.
It was the West Coast takeover because I want to see them make them suffer and stuff like that. We'll make it happen, man. Give it time.
Yeah, cool.
Maybe we'll support. Who knows?
Yeah, never know. Story number 5. We got 2 more stories left. 1 music-related story and 1 loud podcast-related.
Mm-hmm.
Story number 5 is Dr. Dre Day is happening February next year, which I'm really excited about. He is going to be playing the Super Bowl, which I know you're probably excited about.
Mm-hmm. As part of Dr. Dre Day, or?
Well, I'm looking it up now. It says that the first it says Dr. Dre Day. So he's apparently going to play the halftime show and announce something else along after that on the same day.
Nice.
So I think he just is calling it Dre Day. And it's awesome because he's playing it with Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige. That's crazy, man. Like Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Kendrick, Mary J. Blige. They are all huge.
Able to headline that event on their own.
That's exactly what I was about to say, was all of them could be the headliner.
Absolutely.
So I've never really been excited for a Super Bowl before, but I love Dr. Dre. And it's awesome, man, because I just didn't think we were going to see any more of him after Compton. And I honestly, as I said before, don't think we were going to see any more of him until he had that hospital visit. So that's where I got the name Dre Day for. Eminem tweeted the news writing, Dre Day in February, I'm there. And Dr. Dre tweeted, I'm extremely excited to share the stage with my friends for the Pepsi halftime show. This will introduce you to the next saga of my career, bigger and better than ever. So he's saying that we're going to see the next saga of his career, meaning that he's announcing more on that day too, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to take a wild stab in the dark, and I'm just thinking so he's got 5 other artists, and he's the headliner for the thing, and Dre's more known as a producer. So I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of him actually performing. I think it'll be him liaising throughout the other crew. He's got a lot of stage stees and stuff like that, so I reckon he'll be doing stuff with the people that are performing and maybe
what
producing some stuff on the go, maybe.
No, what we were talking about before was people doing medleys. And that's what Dr. Dre will do because it's only a 15-minute show or whatever, 20-minute show. The Eminem performance, it'll be because they're going to do Forgot About Dre, probably. Yep. And Eminem needs to be there for his part. Then it'll be him doing a song with Kendrick, which I'm guessing I only know one with him and Kendrick, and that's the one off Dr. Dre's latest album, Compton.
Yeah.
And then Snoop Dogg, he's going to probably do Still Dre. And Mary J. Blige, I don't know if she is in a Dr. Dre song. Let me quickly look it up. Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige.
It's cool.
There you go. She is in a song called The Message off Chronic 2001.
It's cool because of the magnitude of all the artists. You can, like, there's so many different scenarios of what you can speculate would happen. Like, can you imagine if they, for whatever, like, if they just switched up each artist on the song because Dre was there? So, like, Snoop raps an Eminem song and then stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Even though Dr. Dre is a producer, when he performs live, you'll never see him behind a producing thing live. He's always rapping like frontman, you know, like,
as he should be, because he has enough stage presence ability, obviously, to be doing all that stuff. It's just so happens that he's even better at being a producer.
Yeah, well, it's cool, man, because he even though it's called a Dr. Dre album, if you look at the tracks on the back, there are a lot of tracks that Dr. Dre isn't in. He just produces. And he even says in an interview that he spreads himself out through the album so that when you're listening to it, you really think that he's on it more than he actually is. So just because he's on here, there, and the way he spreads the album out, it feels like every song, he's on every song, but he's not. And a prime example of that is the song Just Another Day off Compton, which is just the game. It's not Dr. Dre. So on Dr. Dre's album, it says Just Another Day, the game. It doesn't say anything else.
I think,
but that's because Dr. Dre produced it. So
I think one other thing that kind of sets him apart is, one way you could think about it as well is, it'd be interesting to do the search how many other, like, producers have performed at a halftime show. You know, I doubt they'd have enough confidence to put on, like, DJ Khaled, for example, who's worked with, like, Justin Bieber and a whole bunch of other big pop artists nowadays, but they'll choose Dre because he has a bunch of other people that'll follow him as well.
Yeah, well, it said that previous people that have opened up the Super Bowl have been people like J-Lo, Shakira.
It's quite funny at work today. I mean, we were talking about Janet Justin Timberlake, that halftime show.
Yeah, where the nip slip.
Yeah, that one.
Whenever I think about a woman's nipple popping out, I think of on Seinfeld when she makes her own Christmas cards, Elaine, and sends them out with a photo on them, and her nipple comes out. And Jerry, she doesn't notice it before she sends it, and Jerry sees it, and she's there with him, and he goes, I could be wrong, but I think I see a nipple. And then everyone calls her nips. It's hilarious. Anyways, so that's the news.
She's probably news. Like, I'm never sending out Christmas cards again. Fuck this.
Because Kramer took the photos.
It's what I get for trying to be nice. Like, it's usually how it goes, but...
Kramer's taking the photo, things aren't going to go smooth. So, that's the news.
Kramer's the smoothest out of them all. Anyway.
Get the way he enters the door and shit. That's super smooth.
His shoes are smooth, that's for fucking sure.
So, before we leave, because we've done the news, as we said, it's going to be a short episode. We just wanted to come back, kind of have a little chat, and kind of get back into the swing of things. We're hoping that we'll have a guest on for the next episode. But we want to thank everyone for tuning in. We want to thank everyone for watching. And we're going to end off with story number 6, which is, well, I'll let the trailer speak for itself. Enjoy the trailer. And after that, enjoy the rest of your week. And we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Much love.
See you, dudes. Thank you.
We cannot change the past, but we can start today to make a better tomorrow. It's time to rock this motherfucker, cause I'm always out of style. Never change my style, cause my style is kinda fresh. You bitches asking for a sound check. Check 1, 2, bitch. You barely touch the ground yet. Choked up on your bounce game, coming down the mountain. Copy got you lucky that I let you hang around me. Check 3, 4, bitch. Get out there on the bounty. In the war zone, got these campers all around me. We should be on the same team, on the motherfucking same team. If we ain't, then we nothing, Damn, got serious for a second. I would say delirious for the record. Looking back as a skeptic.